Good morning. My name is Anna Catherine Farmer, and today I am given probably the most unique person I've ever met to introduce. Whether she is up singing on a stage or just simply passing you in the hall, you will be enlightened by her smile to have a good day. She is nothing but a ray of sunshine, and I am so blessed to have known her through middle school and now all the way to senior year. I would not be surprised if Bella was to leave this stage with all of you crying and choking on your tears or dying from laughter. But I know that whatever she has to say, you will be very interested in. She is one of the most genuine souls I've ever met, and I am so thankful to know her. She has helped me learn that we all have a voice and we all need to be heard. Now, without further ado, I introduce you to the one and only Isabella Marie Littleton.
I want you to time travel with me for a second. Well, for the seniors time travel, the rest of you can just use your imagination. I'm sprinting across the field from the junior lot to the dining hall. No, I cannot tell you why I had decided to go to my car that fateful O period, but I can tell you that it was May, and I was running in a sweatshirt. Not a good combination. I go to the dining hall double doors and desperately start knocking and peering inside, hoping that someone will let me in. And I will admit this in front of the entire school. I can't find my badge. Still. Thankfully, one of my classmates was there to let me into the building, where I promptly sat down and waited for the meeting to begin. The meeting about senior speeches. Miss Love came up and gave it a little spiel about something that has sadly slipped my mind, but then she handed it over to Miss Ray. Miss Ray got up and stood in front of about 67 excited juniors who were just dying to know how senior speeches would work. She scans the room, looks me directly in the eye, and says, "I want you to tell me a story." I want you to tell me a story. I thought, I got this. Stories are my thing, right? Most of you know me as an actor and performer, so naturally one would think I would be good at telling stories. I've always loved listening to stories. For as long as I can remember, I would read books and watch movies and absorb stories from the world around me. In the mornings before school, I would wake up just before dawn, turn on all the lights in my room, pull out a book, and begin reading stories. I mean, I really wasn't good at too much else. There was a point in my life where I tried to do something different. I tried to play sports. And when I say I was horrible at it, I mean I was horrible at it. There was this one time around the 4th or 5th grade, right before I started doing theater, when I decided to try out basketball. And while I can proudly say that I was the tallest person on the team, that was all I really contributed. At this one game in particular, I was running up and down the court desperately out of breath. I hadn't gotten the ball the entire game, and then suddenly, it happened. I got the ball. I began dribbling it down the court, a wide smile on my sweaty little face. I look over at my coach to see them going, I was going the wrong way. Lesson learned, I should stick to theater and storytelling. Well, truth be told, stories and I have a complicated relationship. I've never really been good at telling my own stories. I can get up on a stage and live out somebody else's life, but my own, a creation from my own mind, that terrifies me, or really embarrasses me. I feel so ashamed when telling stories. When I was little, I would write stories in little notebooks and never share them. In fact, I felt this sense of shame so badly that I would rip them up into teeny tiny pieces and throw them away in the green trash bin in the backyard. I wanted to ensure that no one read my stories. Even when I first began acting, I would be so embarrassed to perform scenes or monologues in front of my own parents for some strange fear of being made fun of. This embarrassment and fear held me back from wanting to tell my stories. And now this is the part where I'm supposed to tell you what changed, where there was this moment of clarity for me, and I realized I shouldn't be embarrassed to tell stories, and I should be confident in myself, and you should too. But I'm just gonna tell you, that moment never came. And I honestly don't expect it to. Yesterday, I handed my creative writing class a story I wrote, and I didn't want them to read it because I was so embarrassed. Every time I go on stage to perform, I worry that people won't like how I portray the characters, and that they'll just think it's bad. And some of you might not know this, but I do in fact play Dungeons and Dragons. And I write the story, I make it up, and every time I gather with my players, I can't help but think to myself, they're going to hate it. They're going to hate what I've done. Those fears and embarrassments never go away. At least they haven't for me. I am still bombarded by them every single time I try to tell a story. Even at this very moment, I can tell you all confidently that I am embarrassed by everything I have just said. I know that all sounds really weird, considering that I did hand in my story, that I go on stage to perform, that I continue to write, and that I'm up here right now. But I pushed through. Life is a series of embarrassing moments, and why should I let fear hold me back from the moments that make it all worth it? It's worth it to hear the amazing responses and questions my classmates ask about my stories. It's worth it to come off the stage and have people greet you and congratulate you at the door. It's worth it when one of the 5 people at my game table asks me, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what comes next?" I pushed through for those moments. The fear, the anxiety, and the embarrassment never vanish, but I know it's worth it for the good moments on the other side. So I'm going to tell you all to do what I am so reluctant to do. I want you to tell me a story. Thank you.